Okay, so today's video is going to be on installing the ceiling in the bus. Right now this shows the finished product pretty much, except for some trim that I need to do around these edges here because of not installing the ceiling first. Anyway, but I was able to tuck the vinyl up behind my trim here on the sides and take the saw, put it back on. I've got a wiring chase in there. And same thing on this side. I've got my door jamb finished out. The emergency escape rescue opening here in the ceiling extended into the bedroom a little bit, and so I decided to eliminate that, and I just went ahead and covered it up in there. And so that's pretty much how that's trimmed out there. And so to try to get some perspective on this, if you can see that ceiling, I still have the back to do there and the back wall, of course, all my walls. But that's pretty much the product here that we'll be looking at today. See how that video goes. Hi, my name's Glenn, this is Karen, my wife, and this is our bus. So I've thermally isolated the screw heads. I just used some cell seal foam, and by the time I put this other foam over the top of the whole thing, then the screw heads themselves should prevent the screw heads from frosting in the wintertime. Those screw heads are the only thermal items that are lacking a thermal separation from the outside, because the insulation up above the plywood is continuous over the steel. Of course, I've got the foam insulation above that, but the screw heads themselves, they transfer cold or heat or whatever through to the steel. So I'm hoping that these pieces of cell seal stapled over the screw heads will work, and I'm going to have the foam go over the whole thing, and that should pretty much isolate those screws from frosting. So that's the idea there, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so for now I've got it down to where I need to just trim it out. I went ahead and put my wood back along the edge here. So I've got the vinyl stretched pretty tight, and I've got it. I've got some staples here and here that are in the center, both in both directions. But either way, I'm going to run strips of wood down here, right down this line, and down, of course, the seam, and then down this line at the same distance over, and then probably another short one here or whatever. Back here, I'm going to eventually put a lid in here, box this in, and then I'm going to have another AC unit here, a 9000 BTU mini split here. So that way I have 2 mini splits, and with putting this wood back on here, it trimmed it out real nice all the way along the edge, with the vinyl going up inside. And I think this is going to look pretty good. The only thing I didn't really figure on is how I'm going to trim out these edges here. I've already got this piece on here, so I'm going to have to put some extra trim on top of this, which is a little irritating. If I'd have done this right to start with, this whole ceiling would have been completely installed all in one fell swoop. Then go through and build the walls and push all the walls up against the vinyl. That would have been the easiest way to do it. So this is kind of the backwards way of doing it, but this is the first bus I've done from scratch. So it is what it is. Anyway, so I think it's going to come out pretty good. It's going to be a while before I get that trim on. Also, right here, I've got to trim this out because I've got this opening here going into the roof hatch here, which I don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, I might just forget about that. Having anything on the bedroom side, just cover this up, call it good. So it's not going to give me much air on this side of the wall anyway. So anyway, so it's looking pretty good, and we'll see how the rest of that comes out. Okay, so I picked up some wood to make up my ribs. It's going to go across the ceiling. I know it's a little bit dark in here. It's kind of nighttime now, and it's not that late. It's just the sun's starting to go down earlier. So what I picked up was some of this kind of a common trim that they sell at Home Depot. These were like 15 bucks a piece, which I hate to spend that kind of money on something like that. But these, my wife likes the pattern, and I think they'll look good on the ceiling. So they'll go across here, and I've already got the holes drilled. They're already cut the length here, and so I'm going to go ahead and put those up, and I'm going to mark the ceiling here so I know exactly where they're going to go and things like that. So I've already got the center marked. I'm just going to mark the edge where the let's see, the edge of the wood will be approximately. Be pretty close. And the way I'm fastening them, I've got these finishing washers, like I've used in quite a few of the methods here, or quite a few of the trim pieces throughout the bus where I needed to have something like that. And those are stainless steel. And also have some other stainless steel screws. These are the oval head. I think they look the best with those finishing washers. It didn't have to be stainless steel. You could, I could have just used galvanized, but I just like the way the stainless looks better than anything. Okay, so I've got those up there. I've got a little bit of trim to do around the edges. Again, this could have been altogether different if I'd have thought about this ahead of time, but I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope everybody likes it, and the ceiling looks pretty good. We're gonna enjoy this, I think. And we will be heading down the Oregon coast here in about a week for about an 850-mile trip, a round trip. So hopefully that trip will go well. And I think we're gonna just have a good time. It's just kind of nice having the ceiling done in, or not almost done in the bedroom. Not quite done in the other rooms yet, but at least now I have somewhat of a pattern for how I might be able to finish the ceiling in the rest of the bus. So hope everybody enjoys the videos. Take care. God bless.